Hoarding per se is mentioned within obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, which is different than OCD. But there really is not a category for hoarding, which is a symptom that can be seen in many different disorders. In dementia, in eating disorders, in attention deficit disorder, in depression. So hoarding as a symptom is present in many different disorders. My personal interest in hoarding began with my interest in obsessive-compulsive disorder and a family that came to see me. Actually, the husband came to see me, where he reported that his children did not have a bed to sleep on, that his house was such a mess. And this was a prominent man in the community and really needed to invite people to his home, which he was not able to do. He was very concerned about his children. I met with the children, and it was just such a sad story to hear how they were living, how isolated and alone they felt, and my heart really went out to them. When I met the wife who was the hoarder, she was a very presentable, very active woman in the community. And outside of the clutter in the house, if you had not been to her home, you wouldn't have no idea that she was a hoarder, which is very typical of most hoarders. So my interest really was due to OCD, but which is what brought this man here. But at the same time, I saw that it was a different problem than the typical OCD. The hoarder per se is so attached to their objects and possessions that it's very difficult for them to part with them. And except for the fact that they may not be able to invite people to their home, it doesn't really interfere very much with their functioning. Often, as I said, they're able to go out, work, seem very reasonable, socialize. So unlike other disorders, it doesn't affect the individual that much. But certainly interpersonally, it's very damaging to everyone else, in addition to which it's unhealthy for the hoarder. Hoarding seems to develop over the course of many years. So it starts at maybe during childhood or 20s and then continues on at a certain pace. And generally, if you're living with somebody, it tends to go at a slower pace than it does if you're living alone. But again, it usually takes many, many years to get to a point where it's severe. Many of the hoarders, unfortunately, do not engage in treatment sufficiently to be able to get to a point where their hoarding problem is relieved. There's definitely treatment. There is definitely a diminishment of the symptoms, but unfortunately, as I said, majority do not stick in treatment long enough. Those who do, however, do recover and do very well, and providing that we continue to go in and check on them and see that they're maintaining their progress. We have homes where we have actually, cleaned it up. They have learned the skills. The house has been renewed, remodeled, everything is beautiful. The tendency to hoard again comes back, as many compulsions do, but as long as the individual immediately begins to implement the strategies that they've learned, they can remain, cured, but recovered.